All right, so I'm here gonna be working at my desk, and what's important for me that I'm doing all the time is choice management. What some people are gonna call time management is kind of like what I call choice management. We might have different meanings altogether, but really maybe it's just that I use a different word because I don't believe that we actually manage the time. I think we're managing our choices. We can't really manage time like if we have control over it, at least, right? We're managing time in the sense that we allocate time to different things in our life. So we'll determine what things we want in our life, and in order to make sure that we make time for them, we consider different time periods. Thinking of different time frames, like the hour by hour in a single day, you might have a schedule that helps you keep track of what you're giving your time to, and you might have a calendar to keep track from day to day and week to week. But you're just kind of managing on time frames and determining where you're going to allocate time to, but you're not actually having any control over the time. Just time is based on the way the earth spins or something, right? So us all being on the same earth, we all have the same time. It's all happening 24 hours a day. But what we're doing is we're managing our choices. So we are reverting to some type of system or structure of making choices, whether you're aware of it or not. And so what I have done in my entire adulthood is try to be intentional with how I'm making my choices and try to be aware of that decision-making process every minute, every second, even, where we have choices to make. And you might not be aware that there is a choice, but it's almost like decisions are made in advance. So each minute, each second, there is a choice to be made. And then you might already have the choice made according to some pre-existing structure or system. And so what I'm doing is trying to be aware of how that's happening. So things that may be subconscious, I'm trying to bring more to the conscious mind. And what happens is, like, I'm just paying attention to how I'm thinking, feeling, what am I doing? Why did I do that? And being clear about what's important to me. And then sometimes I got to change habits, because you're like, okay, I'm subconsciously or I'm in advance making these types of decisions, yet that decision doesn't really align with what I really want, what's really important to me in my life. So then you say, how can I change that habit? Well, how is that habit there in the first place? And just by starting to ask those questions and be conscious of it, there's already some progress there. Now we can start to address it. But what I do is I actually write stuff down, like in journals. And then beyond that, I review my journals to analyze. I can catch the patterns. And I'm someone who likes to live structured. I think that way, like very structured. So then I start to try to outline like a structure of how I'm making my decisions. And then what I've done was determine that, okay, all of my decisions, all of my choices have to come from this one structure. It's got to start with, of course, it's got to have my priorities straight. Like, what is my number one priority? What is my number two priority? Right? Having priorities, it's got to come from that. But taking a step back and thinking about what's important in my life, what do I want to commit to? Okay, what do I want to commit to? Where are those commitments? What I call them is macro commitments. So in the bigger picture, take a step back just from my day-to-day and just think about my life as a whole and what my life has been, what my life is today. But what do I want it to be in the future? And I have to make commitments to things for that life that I see for myself in the future. And I'm creating it right now But that's in all the choices and decisions I'm making second by second. I'm making those choices and decisions according to a structure. And the structure is built by a design of macro commitments. So for like myself, right, one of the hugest macro commitments is to my family. And so deciding to become a father, being a husband, a father, that's like the heaviest, the deepest. It's in the most essential part of the foundation to it all. So that is a huge macro commitment. But then there comes other macro commitments. Like in my family, I want to be a provider. So I have a commitment to provide financial security to my family. So now that's like one leg of the foundation there. And then I have these macro commitments to my health. So like in my life right now, with the work I do, I'm on call and I don't know what my work schedule is going to be in advance. So I kind of have to go day by day to determine what time I'm going to allocate to work. Sometimes like hour by hour, I don't even know how long a shift is going to go and stuff. So don't have high predictability with my work schedule, but what I have is a macro commitment to provide to my family. So I'm going to be committed to this job, and then I'm going to be committed to a minimum of health. So I'm committed to my health in general, but I have not been able to like maximize my health focus the way I have in the past. And that's probably because of this unpredictable work schedule. I work a lot, but at least if it was a predictable schedule, I could figure some of that stuff out. So what I'm trying to say is that there's been a rebalancing because of my line of work these days. I don't have the same macro commitment to my health, but what I do have is a priority to have at least a minimum sleep, minimum eat, minimum exercise there, and minimum mental, emotional health that I'm doing for also physical care. I got to take some showers and brush my teeth. And so I have this minimum, right? So what I'm saying is, in the structure of macro commitments, I then start to prioritize. And those are just some examples. I've got some more going on in my life, but that's what the structure comes down to. Is you got these macro commitments. Once those are clear, you can start building a foundation of it. But then when I can be clear about priorities, the level of priorities, now that's going to narrow my decision making. And then making decisions, making choices becomes real easy. Living intentionally becomes easily because I can just visualize these structures that I've written down. So what I'll do, for sure, like once a quarter, I'll come back and rewrite some stuff because it's natural in life for things to change, rebalancing. But every day I gotta be on the calendar moving little blocks around because I want to allocate time to these different things. So right now I'm going to jump on the calendar and I'm going to look. And the other thing too is I'm expecting my girls to come home soon. So I do want to see them too, or help them come in. Since we moved here upstairs, we have to travel upstairs to get into our home. So it's like we used to just be on ground level, kind of step up one little half step into the house. but now it's a whole flight of stairs. And with little ones, real little ones, toddlers, it's hard to do that. What's funny is that this content here that I'm filming is supposed to just be documentation content. Just fucking turn on the camera, get me in motion so that I'm not stuck, not producing any content. And if I can just sit right here, turn on the camera, then at least I'm getting going. I'm actually started doing some content. I honestly don't even like what I'm doing right now, but I'm just going because I know I have to. So I just kind of flipped it on switch and I'm like, fucking just talk to the camera. But it's messing with me because I keep thinking like, okay, I'm supposed to be on topic. I aspire to be a great speaker. So I'm always conscious of how I'm performing, but I guess I'm not supposed to be that concerned about it when I'm doing this here. What I'm gonna do is just try to do this as often as I can to have content. And I guess what else I'm thinking is, see, I'm just getting all these intrusive thoughts, not negatively, like they're not bad intrusive thoughts. It's just the fucking brainstorm right now. And that's not what I intended to happen, but I guess I'm gonna capture this on camera because I tend to do these things on my own here at my desk, but never just talking about it out loud. I mean, I have before, like I'm home alone right now. Other times I'm home, I'll just start talking out loud, but never to record it. I'm over here kind of feeling some emotion, like, oh my God, who's gonna see this as I'm recording this? And I'm looking at the back of my phone and this shit looks funny. Like the two, what is this? I think I got the iPhone 13. I don't know, but it's got two cameras that sit in vertical alignment, like one's on top of the other, one top, one bottom, and then to the right is like a little white thing. But when I have the phone flipped in this horizontal format, then I can see the little face. I don't know. This was a waste of time describing it, but see a little face right there looking at me. And I guess I'm kind of getting distracted doing this, just talking. And it's like a flow state where I'm just taking whatever is coming to my brain and I'm spitting it out of my mouth. I guess it's a cool exercise, but I don't typically like doing this. I don't like doing this, but in some sense it's kind of therapeutic, and in another sense it's actually really good exercise. But maybe I don't really know what the power of this is. I'm just kind of following God's little push here. And what I am supposed to do is sit right here and look at my calendar and see what I'm at. I know I have some time to do this where I'm at my desk getting strategic, and then once they get home, I'm gonna help them. Oh shit, they just got home, so I'm gonna help them come up here, and I'm gonna probably help clean up around here in the kitchen and stuff, and I'm gonna eat because they said they brought me some food. So then I'm gonna eat, and then oh shit, they already made it inside. Let me go there.